We're back. We have a traveler traveling from New York to Philly and then from Philly to Washington, D.C. Now, New York to Philly is a distance of 150 kilometers. And the traveler's traveling at a speed of 75 kilometers per hour. And then from Philly to Washington, D.C., we don't know the distance, but we know that the traveler traveled for 4 hours at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. So given this information, what was the average speed of the traveler for the entire journey from New York to Washington, D.C.? So when you see a problem like this, what I would recommend is you make a table that shows the 3 important parameters for each leg of the journey: speed, time, and distance. So in the first leg, which is New York to Philly, the speed we know is 75 kilometers per hour. We don't know the time, so we will just draw a box. And we know the distance, 150 kilometers. And for the next part of the journey, Philly to DC, we know that the speed is 50 kilometers per hour. We know the time, which is 4 hours, but we do not know what the distance is. In order to find the average speed, let us remind ourselves, average speed equals total distance divided by total time. So in order to find the total distance, we need the distance from Philly to Washington, D.C. And in order to find the total time, we need to find the time from New York to Philly. So the time from New York to Philly, you're traveling a distance of 150 kilometers per hour at a speed of 75 kilometers per hour. So that distance is, that time is going to be 150 kilometers divided by 75 kilometers per hour. So that is 2 hours right there. And the distance from Philly to Washington, D.C. is simply going to be the 4 hours that the traveler traveled times the speed at which he traveled. So that's a distance of 200 kilometers. So that gets us to a total distance of 150 plus 200, which is 350 kilometers, divided by a total time of 2 hours plus 4 hours, which is 6 hours. And therefore we have, let's take out the 2, 175 over 3 kilometers per hour, and you can do the math. It comes out to 58 and change. 58 1/3 kilometer per hour is the average speed. We will do a problem that is a bit more challenging in our next lesson.